just forget about having another good year, you know? Just forget about just trying to have another good year. Considering that this year is already not only a bad year, again, not only my fourth straight bad year, but overlapping 2024, that was previously my worst year, and now this year is the worst year. 2023, I guess because of a decent summer that I had, I guess I can say it wasn't the worst year. Yeah, it was still bad, but at least it wasn't like I got to where it was the worst. 2024, last year, it was the worst. And now this year, it is the worst. But the fact of the matter is, I'm already going on 4 straight bad years. And it's just, it's very, very alarming to see myself go 4 straight. I mean, my last good year, believe it or not, was 2021. 2021 was our last good year, and it's like after that, you know, I had a decent start to my 2022 year. Obviously, my birthday being in Vegas, yeah, that was a good start. Even though it didn't start out well in the new year, but eventually it was starting to become a decent year. And then after that, you know, it started to there were some ups and downs, like going towards February, and even in March. But for the most part, it was still a decent year. You know, it's not to the point where it was great, but it was decent. Yeah, I remember the car accident I had in April. But unfortunately, when I had that car that I liked, the Civic, just being traded away because of an air conditioning problem. You know, and now like going to May, you know, when I had literally had like a few days to myself, and you know, everything was all good. Like, I feel like I was gonna have it this time. I was gonna do well, right? Like, I think my year was going in the right direction, and next thing you know, it started going on a downfall, like in the second half. And from there, it's like, you know, it is what it is. You know, I mean, 2022, yeah, it became a bad year because of what transpired in the second half, but it's not as bad as the following year was. Yeah, I had a pretty decent summer. You know, I had some pretty good, you know, hangouts, like outdoor adventures, like the Wild Rivers, and you know, going to that fire museum in Bellflower, the LA Fire Museum, and then after, you know, but the rest of the way it was just has not turned out well for me, and yeah, that's why 2023, you know, it's also a bad year. Last year, one of the worst year. I mean, I did say 2023 was one of my worst years because of the fact that I'm still in that dump, and you know, and then obviously going into the following year, I knew it was going to be a crappy start, and it was, and I just felt like I've seen less highlights that were were gonna prove that my 2024 year was gonna go in the right direction. And unfortunately, there just hasn't been that many. It's just been more bad than good. I hate to say it. You know, I mean, there were like maybe a few good highlights. You know, a much better basketball shoot-around season, and yes, Steph's you know, Olympic moments, the gold medal game, obviously. But yeah, other than that, man, it's just like it's just overall, it was just the worst year. And then this year, obviously, you know, with what transpired toward the end of March, and then obviously what I felt in April, and going into it, I mean, the next, you know, the following couple of months, and now it's becoming to where I am going through this help process, the mental health process, to the point where now it's really going to take some time for me that I got to focus on that in order to fix myself. So per this video title, yeah, I'm just gonna forget about trying to have another good year at this point, because one, I already declared that 2025 is already the worst year, overlapping 2024, and because of what transpired, and I mean, let's just say this, man. I'm better off just focusing on rebuilding myself, you know, fixing myself, fixing my life. That's all I'm ever gonna do, because for as long as I'm still in this dump that I just can't stand every single day, and being surprised that I'm there for soon to be going into 13 years if I end up staying in September. Currently now 12 and a half years, and now with the AC being fixed, yeah, okay, that's good, but really in the grand scheme of things, it's only a small problem to fix. When the reality is, there really hasn't been any sign of change in that dump. There hasn't really been any. You know, from ever since I started working there, it's like in all of my 12 years, I haven't seen signs of just a much improved place. And especially after what transpired the last couple of years, that's pretty much it. I mean, this dump will never see a full employee capacity ever again. And as long as the same company president is still working there, you know, the same cycle is going to repeat. You know, a lot of these newbies that are in, they're going to be gone eventually in a year or so. You don't want to see any of these dudes, unlike these lifers, you know, staying like 5 or more years, man. Or hell, 10 years. That's how far I've gotten, and it's not even a blessing one bit. It's more of an embarrassment and a disgrace for me to just stay there and continue putting up with all the constant BS. And now with the air conditioning problem being solved, it's like, what's the next bad thing you're gonna expect now? I mean, so yeah, my definitely my dump is a major issue that I gotta fix, and it's been that way for a long time. Considering that I only have one job interview, and I haven't had any luck since, and now with Trump's tariffs taking effect, it's like, how much more are we gonna expect for, you know, other than all these price hikes and more businesses being shut down? Like, I mean, of course it's going to make my job hunting much harder, but yeah, I mean, that's the one thing I still got to focus on. I got to heavily focus on. So yeah, my dump is definitely one I got to fix. Obviously, with what's happening in my outside life, you know, especially my home life and my personal life, you know, the home life is just one that I can't really control. And after what I heard the last couple of days, like especially after coming home from a shoot-around game that I would really love to enjoy celebrating for as long as I could, even if I were in my dump the following day, like, it's you know, that just had to get ruined. So it's like the world is just wanting me to fail. That's what I feel. The world is just wanting me to just fall flat on my face, and just not wanting me to, you know, to just have everything go my way. You know, I mean, nothing's really working in my favor at this point. You know, no matter how hard I try, because the fact of the matter is, I'm still in this dump. The fact of the matter is, You know, I may see myself just being out of California, and like who knows when that'll be. But the discussions are still there, man. So like it's why I said just forget having a good year. There's just no way at this point. And after what I did toward the end of January, and it's like, I know that was wrong. I know that was just selfish. I'll admit that. But now that I reconnected with these guys, it's like, I mean, I don't even know if I'm gonna, like, I mean, let's just put it this way. I'm not gonna do these friend hangouts on a regular basis like I did prior to the group text incident, prior to what I did, just ghosting my entire circle in late January. It's not gonna work like this. I'm not gonna come back to that, because I know I got my mental health that I need to fix. And for me to come back in those group chats that I'm no longer in at this time, it's it's like they're still seeing me in beast mode, and it's just more of the same from last year, and even the year before that. I mean, I feel bad that these guys are still seeing me like this, and I wonder what they're thinking now. That's why I had to double down on why I'm not going back on those group chats and interacting there. Russ can do that. I don't mind if he wants to just to chill on any group chats there and what have you. If he just wants to talk sports or whatever it is, fine. I'm not going to get involved. I already said that in my other video. Unless it's about group hangouts, which I don't know when I'm ever going to get back to it. But for the most part, I'm done. With the exception of just, and I said it, maybe up to like 2 friends at a time. I will do those group chats when it comes to group hangouts. But as far as like the other ones where it had like more people, like, all the other nutballer group chats, like, forget about it. I mean, I see no reason for me to be there because I know these issues are still ongoing. So that's why I did myself the favor, making the right decision to just stop due to my ongoing mental health concerns. I'm sorry, man. Like, I gotta stay out of those group chats for a while if I know that these guys are gonna eventually think that I'm gonna become, that, like, the trust issues may just be there, right? So I'm just at that point, like, yeah. So in the end, just forget about having a good year. Going forward, it's gonna be a while, but at this point, just forget about having a good year, because I know that there's just no way. If I were to start another year, like, let's just say next year is 2026, if I'm still in this dump, if I'm dealing with the same situations that I'm still in, then it's just more likely than not, it's not gonna be a good year. Last year, it was not a good year to start. The year before that, it was not a good year to start. I'm just struggling to have these good starts to any year at this point. And then just struggling in general. Now that I feel so limited, especially with my outdoor freedom, it's like, yeah, just forget about it. Forget about attempting even a decent year. So, like, I know Russ is one of those guys that doesn't do these year-end reviews. So it is what it is, man. Like, for me to still be in this dump, feeling miserable, it's a big contribution as to why my years have been sucking, unfortunately. Because I need some newness in my life, and right now I'm just not getting into that. So it is what it is, man. Yeah, I just see no reason to try to attempt another good year. It's already been frustrating enough. It's already been stressful that I just gotta stop trying and instead just continue to fix myself as I should. With the mental help that I'm getting, I gotta have a better focus and a better understanding, especially since I'm away from these group chats right now, for me to just focus better on this stuff. So, yep, I'm gone. Peace.